Hey, welcome to the BG Show. It's your boy BG, and Ontario's vaccine passport program is a mess. There, I said it, and I said it because all of you have been thinking about it. This week, proper vaccination requirements came into effect in Ontario in order to enter non-essential businesses.
What keeps me up at night is ensuring we never lose our hard-fought progress. We can't afford to shut down again or experience a sudden surge in cases.
And if you ask any of those business owners or people who work there how the rollout has been, they will tell you it's been horrible. People are confused, but more importantly, people are upset. Okay, before I go any further, I need you to subscribe to this channel right now. Go tap that notification bell and make sure to follow us across all of our social media. All right, so it's not like Ontario is the first province to implement vaccine passports. I mean, already we know British Columbia has done it. Manitoba been doing it. Quebec done did it. So how is it that Ontario effed it all up? Think about that for a second. Well, I can tell you this. A lot of people are blaming Doug Ford and his government. And honestly, they kind of have a point. Well, part of it is because there are actually a lot of people in this province who never wanted to see vaccine passports implemented. And if you don't believe me, just listen to a few people we heard from on the streets. Take a listen.
So it's almost being discriminatory, and I think it's a choice.
Yeah.
It's kind of like pro-life and abortion. It's the same kind of touchy subject. So I think that taking that right away from people makes it really difficult. And you know, if we have enough anti-vaxxers or enough people against this, it could lead into social problems.
I feel everyone should have a choice. A choice.
What are you gonna do now though? I mean, like, if you wanna dine in at a restaurant, you can't.
Yes, it's unfortunate, but now these are the times when you gotta cultivate and start growing stuff from your backyard.
Now, kudos to Doug Ford, because kudos where kudos are due, for having the courage to implement vaccine passports. Because the reality is, public health measures are needed. I mean, guys, just look at Alberta and what Jason Kenney has done there. Alberta is a mess right now. It's also why many people have been calling for vaccine certificates from time here.
I think it's wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely wonderful, and I think it's absolutely necessary.
So you guys all agree with vaccine certificates?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
for the people who don't have it, I feel bad for them still.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, why do you feel bad for them?
Because they can't go nowhere.
Do you guys know anybody who's been stuck?
My
Yeah, I know one.
My sister's boyfriend.
Yeah?
He can't go anywhere, and he's in sports too. He can't go nowhere.
How do they feel about the fact that it's like required now?
He's like pressed about it. But I was like, get your vaccine then.
But she doesn't trust it like that.
I'm fine with it. I'm 20 days out for my second shot, so I'm sitting outdoors.
Yeah, I mean, there's the line.
It's convenient that the door opens up.
Yeah. Your friends are inside, you're outside.
Cheers, guys.
The thing is, many folks who oppose vaccine certificates, well, a lot of them are more likely to vote conservatives. Not all of them, but a good amount. And of course, Doug Ford and his government doesn't want to upset his base and potential voters who may lean conservative, especially with an election coming next year. Remember that? But is that any excuse to implement a confusing province-wide mandate with only half execution? For example, the rules around the vaccine passport, some of them actually don't make any sense at all. Like the requirement to be fully vaccinated to eat indoors at restaurants or bars. But then take this in. People serving in those same restaurants and bars don't have to be fully vaccinated themselves, unless mandated by their employer. So if the goal was to not have unvaccinated people mingling and mixing indoors with vaccinated people, then where's the logic in all of that? And trust me, I'm not the only one who's noticed those inconsistencies. Here's the receipts.
You know, we as customers, we all have to be vaccinated, yet the store owners, the restaurant owners, everyone else doesn't have to be. This to me is a concern. It absolutely is, not for myself because I've been vaccinated, but to the person behind the bar, behind the counter that's not. And I'll just tell you firsthand, and I'm not afraid to admit it, I was COVID positive a year and a half ago. I spent 6 days in hospital, and it was the most debilitating, horrible thing that I could have ever gone through. So to me, this is something that the government should stipulate, that store owners, restaurant owners, everything should be by the board.
Because Ontario's program says that servers technically don't have to be vaccinated, but people who dine indoors have to be.
Yes, I found that very weird. So sorry.
Yeah.
No problem.
Sorry, you were saying?
I find that very weird, but you know.
Why did you find that weird?
Because why do we not have to be vaccinated, but they have to be vaccinated? Like, I get it, it's to protect people, but you come out, you're doing it at your own risk. So accept the consequences when it comes. That's how I feel.
Now, the other big situation that everybody is talking about is how easy people can manipulate or forge or fake a vaccine certificate. No, seriously, right now Doug Ford and his government are scrambling to get the QR code system in place in time for October 22nd. So in the meantime, they've said people have to show their vaccine certificates instead. But everyone knows, and trust me, it's no secret, go ask your friends, that those PDF certificates can be easily changed, meaning anyone can fraud the system. Mind you, there are big penalties for doing this, including facing fines up to $100,000 and up to a year in jail. But really, how are businesses supposed to spot a fraudulent vaccine certificate? Ask yourself that. Like really, if you ask anyone working at a small restaurant, for example, they have no idea what to do. In fact, they're just trying and hoping that they're not going to encounter any aggressive customer upset with the fact that they have to use this process in the first place. Just listen to what a few servers told our show.
Yes, I see that all the time on Instagram, that people are making the fake passports, and I'm not sure how to see if it's real or not, because I haven't seen, well, I have my real one, but I haven't seen a fake one.
And if it is, what would you even do next?
I don't even know. I was actually scared about that, because what if they get mad at me? Because a lot of people do get mad at the servers.
Yeah.
And I don't want people yelling at me.
Oh, no, nobody should. Yeah, no, you don't deserve that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that responsibility on. I'm really not up to that. We've been through so much already. I'm not going to worry about that.
Then on top of all of this is the question of who is going to enforce the rules? Who is going to enforce the rules? For example, one major rule of Ontario's vaccine passport program is that businesses have to check people's vaccine certificates every time a customer enters their establishment, even if they're a repeat customer. That means, as a gym goer, for example, technically you're required to show your vaccine status every time you go to the gym. Really? Really? In fact, already we're seeing some businesses taking matters into their own hands, like creating their own systems for repeat customers. Now, initially, Doug Ford said that bylaw officers were the ones responsible to enforce all of this.
Enforcement will be led by bylaw officers.
Then at a recent press conference, Tutu's Health Minister Christine Elliott said that businesses who have any troubles should instead contact the police and call 911.
That if any point they feel threatened, we want them to call 911 as soon as possible.
But hold up. Enter Toronto police, who stepped into the building, and they came out and said, no, don't call us. They said calling 911 is for emergencies only. Let me tell you, what a mess. I'm a mess. This entire process is a mess, and it's a headache, and everyone is just confused.
I've had people who blame me for it. Like,
what?
Yeah, they just like, is this your new policy? Yes, indeed, ma'am. I was up all night writing this policy.
Now we have to ask if you want to come in, like you have to dine in a lot. But they are like, I didn't bring it with me, it's in my car. So whenever I ask them to just go and get it from their car, they are like, okay, I don't want anything. They are like this.
But certainly it shouldn't be put on us.
Yeah.
You know, the government has to come up with some more sensible ways. And they've had almost 2 years to be figuring things out. Really seriously, don't dump it on us.
So the big question is, okay, the big question is, did it have to be this way? And honestly, the answer is no, it didn't. And I'll tell you why. Doug Ford and his government had a lot of time to figure this out. They had a lot of time to figure this out. Other provinces have been doing this. We could have copied their model and kept it simple. There didn't need to be half measures at all. All that has done is left people confused, annoyed, and created even more distrust for the system as a whole. In the meantime, though, Doug Ford has come out saying that these vaccine passports will only be temporary.
And I truly believe that this tool, these certificates, they're the best chance we have to get through this coming months without having to move backwards.
In fact, he's promising people that. But you want to hear the real truth? Most people that we asked, they don't believe him.
Do you believe him?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's been, in the last year and a half, even almost 2 years, there's been so many changes, and it's hard to keep up, and it causes a lot of stress for a lot of people.
I don't believe anything that man says.
Anyways, I've been ranting enough here. So what I really want to know is, what do you think? What are your thoughts on all of this? And if you live outside of Ontario, how has your province or state or country handled vaccine passports? Let us know in the comment section because we want to hear from you. Also, if you do have any stories or topics you want us to look into, you should probably send us an email, news@brandygonezshow.com, or drop your thoughts in the comment section about things you want us to look into. And don't forget to do this. Subscribe to this channel right now, tap that notification bell, and remember to follow us across all of our social media. Hey guys, we'll talk soon, and we love you for watching.